going on, everybody? So yes, this last weekend it's pretty much going to be already a week again, but just barely getting to this news. Of course, it's been a pretty busy week at work with everybody ordering for Black Friday and all that stuff. But yes, when it came to USC, they did lose to their rival Notre Dame. I believe the final score was like 49-35. So they had a chance towards the end, but Maava threw pretty much two pick sixes or something like that. I didn't end up watching the rest of the game after like after a certain time, just because I was getting too frustrated. When that happens, I just change the channel and hope for the best. But sadly, they did lose. It was okay when it comes to recruiting and did not affect it that much. It only did a little bit, but I guess the bright spot was, them retiring Caleb Williams is number 13, which is pretty cool. So that's be going up on the Peristyles and will be up there for a while, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, congrats to him. And then when it came to the assistant, the Anton Lynn, he was a Ryan Broyles Award nominee, which I believe goes to like some of the top assistants out there in college football. So yeah, that's pretty good. You have one of those guys. And even speaking of one of those assistants, the linebackers coach, Matt Entz, he ended up leaving to Fresno State to take that head coaching job, which is pretty cool for him, but it did suck because that might be the reason why USC ended up losing out on Madden Emo, and then also Jaden Perlotti, who flipped to Tennessee. Maybe he just wanted to stay home, or it's because USC was losing their linebackers coach. But congrats to him. He was a head coach in Division II level, had to get a job at the Division I level to kind of prove his worth. He did, and now he's a head coach at Fresno State. So yeah, congrats to him. No ill will. I know a lot of people are upset, some USC fans, but I'm not mad at all. Go and coach your own team. Hope the best for him, and maybe USC will schedule Fresno State in the near future. And yes, not a surprise here with some of the guys entering the transfer portal from USC. Obviously, the quarterback Miller Moss, who did start half of the year, but ended up losing the job to Maava, has entered the portal. I'm pretty sure he's been talking to like ACC and SEC schools, so good luck to him wherever he ends up going. He's pretty much a true Trojan and ended up staying behind Caleb and a couple other people too, so yeah, good luck to him wherever he ends up. Then there were also like a group of guys that ended up entering in the portal. It was the kicker Dennis Litch, which is not surprising. The offensive lineman Gino Quinones is a little bit surprising, and then another offensive lineman, Amos Talalele. So obviously, Talalele wasn't getting much playing time, so I can understand that. Quinones, he's always been hurt the past couple. I think it was like past last year when he was starting to play, and then he wasn't able to come back this season, so he kind of redshirted, and you thought he was going to be able to come back and play for USC and maybe even start once he's 100% healthy, but looks like he's moving on, so hoping for the best for all these guys, I guess, and it's not like it's really going to affect right now starting wise. It's just going to affect depth, so hopefully USC can get some other guys in the transfer portal when it comes up for them. Another guy entering the transfer portal was the wide receiver Kyron Ware Hudson. He just kind of made a bunch of incredible catches, especially that one in the LSU game, the first game of the season, and kind of made more difficult catches and not the easier ones, dropped quite a bit of passes, and he is a local guy from modern days, so it's tough losing a guy like that if he ends up leaving officially, but he was always kind of up and down, and yeah, he started to start, but it wasn't always the best, so good luck to him. And then when it came to Jonah Monheim, the offensive lineman, he did accept a Reese Senior Bowl invitation, so congrats to him. Obviously one of the higher prestigious after college, bowl games to kind of play in to get some more, accolades towards the NFL and all those scouts to look out after you. So hoping for the best for him and hoping that he gets drafted pretty high. And there was some pretty weird rumors and stuff that was going on signing day last Wednesday, where I guess UCF, that college, was trying to get in contact with Lincoln Riley or even USC to see if he's available to be their head coach. And I don't know why that all of a sudden came out of nowhere. It's kind of weird because you already had the Matt End stuff, so that was already kind of like a dismembering of what that day could have been and all that stuff for USC. But I don't know who put that stuff out there. Obviously, he addressed it in his press conference talking about the new team, saying he's at the place he wants to be. He's just shut down the rumors, which is nice. And so either way, it was just kind of funny. I just kind of laughed at it when it was happening, especially UCF. They're an okay Division I team, but I think he's going to leave more for the NFL than kind of like a lower level Division I team, in my opinion. And then also Jakeem Stewart, the 5-star defensive lineman they were able to sign in this class. It looks like he's putting the word out on the 2026 class and trying to get as many of those top guys as he wants and that he knows, actually. And he said he knows a lot of those guys that are willing to put up as much effort as he will while at USC. So he's going to get some of the better of that crop coming out in 2026. So hoping that's the case, but yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see what that recruiting class looks like in the near future. And USC football players with honors in first, second, and third team for the Big Ten. Obviously, the punter Eddie Chaplitsky was named the punter of the year, and he's all Big Ten first team, which is great. Then all Big Ten second team offensive lineman Emmanuel Pregnon and running back Woody Marks, all Big Ten third team. Cornerback Jalen Smith, returner Mekhi Lemon, snapper Hank Pepper, and the offensive lineman Jonah Monheim. Honorable mention for the Big Ten, wide receiver Mekhi Lemon, linebacker Easton Mascarenas Arnold, Elijah Page, the offensive lineman, tight end Lake McCree, safety Kamari Ramsey, and a defensive tackle Gavin Myers. So yeah, a little bit of nice stuff heading towards the end of the season. They get some honorable mentions and some guys on the first, second, and third team for the Big Ten Conference. USC's first year in it, so hopefully they could get some more guys on there next season. And I forgot to mention for the football team that Mekhi Lemon, the wide receiver, was PFF's third or fourth highest graded wide receiver when it comes to the Power 4 wide receivers. So yeah, big time year for him, even though he missed a couple of games, but hopefully he's still 100% healthy next year, and then he looks like he's going to be the number one guy. So looking forward to seeing what this ex-5-star wide receiver can do. Then when it came to the women's basketball team, yes, they had that tournament out there in Acrisure. I think that's in that arena's in Palm Springs, and they had beaten Seton Hall, I believe, that first game that I talked about recently, but then they beat St. Louis 104-65, and they were the champions out there in the desert. And I believe Kiki Iriafen and Juju Watkins are the only other two Trojans to score 30-plus points in the same game other than Lisa Leslie and Tammy Story, who did it back in 1990. So yeah, that's a pretty good company and some pretty awesome history. So hopefully those two can continue, and they're obviously named preseason first-team All-American, so it's not that surprising. So like I said, hopefully it can continue for them. And I believe Juju Watkins was named the Big Ten weekly honor roll for the second time this year already, which is pretty cool. And then they did have a game at home against CBU, Cal Baptist University, got that victory 94-52, and Juju Watkins set a USC single game record with 9 threes made, and she also had 40 points in that game too, which is pretty awesome. I believe she's one of 3 Big Ten players in the last 25 years to have that 40 points and 9 threes made. I'm pretty sure Kaylin Clark is a part of that too, because she did play at Iowa, who plays in the Big Ten. But yeah, they're on a nice little streak after that little hiccup against a highly ranked Notre Dame team, and hopefully they can continue this heading into some other bigger matchups and into Big Ten play coming up soon. And the USC women's volleyball team did have a nice stretch to end the season. They went on the road and beat Washington 3-1, and then they were able to also beat Iowa 3-0 as well to end the season. And then they got their first round matchups against UT Arlington, I believe it was, or one of those Texas other schools. So yeah, they made it into the tournament, which is nice, and they were able to beat that team 3-0 the other day, so they advanced to the next round. But sadly, they had to play one of the better teams in the nation in Texas, and sadly lost that game 0-3. So yes, their season is over, like I said, sadly. But Mia Tuaniga, one of their main starters and leaders, is now the all-time assist leader at USC with 4,500 plus assists, which is nice in her career. And then also Allie Battenhorst had 1,000 career kills during that game or over the season this year too in her career. So yeah, very awesome year that they had. A lot of young talent too coming in for this team over the next couple years, and maybe they're going to dip into the transfer portal again, like Allie came and she did very well for this team, got them rings and at least into the next round of the tournament. So hopefully they can go farther next year and have some more new people step up, new girls step up next season to be their leaders. A couple of miscellaneous things to end off. Yes, sadly the women's soccer team did lose to Wake Forest in that round of 8 game. It was tied. They went into overtime, and I think penalty kicks they lost 3-4, which sucks. And then the USC track and field women's side did sign Madison Mosby in the, I believe she does the sprints as her main sport in track and field, which is pretty cool. So a little bit of a lighter note to end on, but yeah, it sucks for the women's USC soccer team. They made it really far than they have in quite a bit, and yeah, sadly they did end up losing. I'll get into in a future video how the Duke women's team did. They did make it to, I think it was the Final Four or the semifinal, something like that, but I'll try to update you on that as soon as I can. So thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Fight on.